Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. On behalf of Right Selection, myself and Neha, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you here today. Our
Hi.
organization, our organization, Right Selection, just give you a brief background. We're a father and son family business, been operating since 1993, so over 25 years, and we're in the business of transforming lives by creating world-class learning experiences. Obviously, with the current climate, we've now moved our learning experiences online, and our goal is to stay connected with each one of you, to educate, inspire you to always achieve your best in every area of your life. The format for today is Neha will present for the first 10 to 15 minutes content around how to build a great immune system, and then we'll open up for Q&A. So do put your questions in the chat box on the right hand side, so you can type your questions there. And after Neha shares her short introductory session, then I would open up to Q&A. I'm going to start with one poll now, just to get a sense of who's here. Great. So if you could answer yes and no, whether you're from India or not, we'll just get a sense of where the audience is here. Great. So we've had about 80% of the participants enter into the poll. And as we can see, I'll share that about 93% are from India, and we have 7% of the people from outside of India. So to introduce Neha, Neha is an integrative nutritionist. She's a health coach, a lifestyle educator, and in natural ways helps you to reverse many of the diseases that some people may have or challenges they may have, whether it be diabetes or thyroid, and someone I personally highly recommend. And so I'm going to please join me in giving a warm welcome to Neha. Over to you, Neha.
Thank you so much, Gautam. Thank you so much. This was a short and sweet introduction, and I'm so happy to be here. And we are doing this because I think it's the need of the hour. And I think everyone right now is investing time in their health. And I think that is the thing to do. I think everyone has to look at their health because clearly that's the only way we can get through this, right? So, yeah, I would, you know, I would like to start with the presentation without wasting any time now so that we have more time to take answer questions and answer them later. So let's quickly jump onto the presentation and yeah. All right. So immunity and great health. When we talk about immunity, you know, we are basically people, we are human beings, and our bodies are made in such a way that we can protect ourselves from anything that comes our way and anything that sort of wants to damage us within. We have our internal team of you can say soldiers or warriors inside, and our immune system is that our immune cells are the warriors which actually help us to fight everything that's coming from the outside environment into us. Now today's pandemic is basically, it's there's a lot of fear around it. People are really getting worried as to what's going to happen, how are we going to deal with this. And of course we all are taking precaution, we are taking care of the social distancing, of the hygiene practices and everything. But the point is, we should not forget that even if for some reason we contract the virus, or even for some reason we come in contact with it, we can fight it and we can overcome it because our body heals everything inside. Our body clearly exactly knows what it has to do. And basically our body's only purpose is to keep us alive in the best possible shape. So when we don't when we forget trusting our own body, is when we start running helter skelter, and we think that a pill for every ill is sort of a solution. But clearly that is not, because for our immune system there is no pill, there is no one pill which works magically. So the only pill that you have for this right now is you and your lifestyle. So it's only you who can do it. So basically our immunity is our weapon that we have, and we need to make the most of it right now. And any virus or bacteria or any entity can only survive in our body when it gets the right environment to do so. Just like we cannot live without oxygen or we cannot live without water, the entity will not be able to survive, the organism will not be able to survive in our body if we sort of take away the food for the virus to survive. So if we remember this and we take care of this, then things get really easy for us. So quickly jumping on to how to take care of our immunity. But before we talk about our immunity, I want to talk about our gut. Now, when we talk about our gut, we say gut feeling, we say, you know what, take care of your gut health. We are hearing a lot of this today because clearly every disease begins in your gut. So, all basically your gut is like a second brain. It has its own nervous system. It has it's like a mind of its own, and it senses everything around you. And it's the only barrier to the external world. Only barrier. So whatever we put in our mouth goes into our gut first. So this is the organ which actually determines our immune health, which I'll talk about a little later. But what is our gut? Our gut starts from our mouth, esophagus, down to our anus. So it's not only the stomach and the intestine. Here we are talking about the entire system. And we have like this nice, beautiful inner garden of microbes inside our gut. So we have about like 100 trillions, that is 3 pounds of microbes within us. That's nearly like we are just 10% human and we are 90% microbes if you go to see. So it's so important for us to make sure that these microbes in our gut are happy. And when these microbes are happy, they keep us happy. They keep our immunity happy. So, basically these microbes are not, they're just not there for fun. They are micromanaging everything in our body, from weight loss to inflammation to hormone balance to sort of neurotransmitter formation, everything. They micromanage every tiny function in our body. So it's important for us to realize that in this garden, do we want a lot of flowers which are beautiful, or we want thorns? So we have the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. So the good guys grow when we eat the right kind of food and we eat correct, which again we'll cover later. And the bad bacteria grows when we eat the wrong food. So your entire health basically depends on the kind of microbes that you have in your gut. So yeah, it's as simple as take care of your gut and you can heal every disease. And that saying is absolutely true, because when I deal with clients, what I do is I first deal with their gut. Be it hormonal imbalance, be it weight loss, I first try to eliminate foods which are going to affect their gut, because thereon the process gets very easy. The clients feel good, they feel happy, and they start seeing changes, which is very experiential. It's not okay, visibly they will see changes, but experientially they will really, really enjoy their body. So that is important. Now, when we talk about intuition, sometimes remember, Gautam, we've heard that, gut feeling and my gut says this. What does that mean? That clearly means that your gut is talking to you and it's actually having an intuition. So when you have a good gut, when you have good microbes in your gut, is when you're going to be more intuitive, is when you're going to be taking the right decisions, it's when you're going to be more clear in your head. So it's extremely important, not only for your physical balance, but your mental, emotional, spiritual balance as well. Your gut needs to be sparkling, clear, and healthy. Now, when we talk about immunity, the main topic over here, our gut and our immunity are super interdependent. So your immune cells, basically all our 70 to 80% of our immune cells are made under the intestinal cell lining. So clearly now we understand that if we don't take care of our gut and we have a lot of gut issues, we are going to have poor immune system, because the immune cells are not able to be generated or developed inside our gut lining. So that's where our immunity gets affected, and that's why I'm paying so much focus on gut health right now. So that being said, we also have to take care of our liver. So when we take care of basically our liver is like the mother organ of our body. It's selfless, it's super caring, and it does everything to protect you, to make sure that your body is not flooded with toxins, your body doesn't have any wrong thing which can damage you. But what we do is, when we eat the wrong food, when we eat the wrong kind of stuff, or when we do the wrong things with our body, the food gets into the gut, gets digested, and it's taken to the liver for processing, because the liver then has to figure out that this needs to be kept or this needs to be eliminated. Now, what happens is, if your cleansing system of your body is not correct, that is, if your kidneys are not working well, if your gut is not eliminating well, if you have a lot of blockages in your body, your lymphatic system is not doing well, the liver cannot let loose the toxins in the system for elimination, because clearly the liver knows it will be hanging around in the body somewhere and not being eliminated, creating more damage. So what the liver does is selflessly, it takes everything and stores it within itself so that you are safe and sound. So this liver, our liver, basically can regenerate. Even when if you must have heard, even when people have liver operations and they cut a part of the liver and liver cancer or whatever, the liver grows back. So it's a very regenerative organ, but it has its stores inside to store the good and the bad. But when the bad increases, so when we eat a lot of wrong food and the bad in the liver goes on increasing, the liver cannot detoxify a system, cannot detoxify, and itself gets very sluggish. So then, when suppose this virus attacks us and it gets into our lungs, and from there it's spreading in the body, it's not, you don't only die out of a lung problem. You're actually, people are dying out of organ failures, which is liver failure, kidney failures, and all of that. Clearly, because this virus is first traveling into the more vascular organs. So liver is the most vascular organ. So if it has to spread into your system, it will go from the lung directly to the liver. And if your liver's detoxification process is not good and it's gotten sluggish, it will not be able to detoxify that virus and not be able to kill it, because our liver also has its own immunity inside. So it's very important that along with our gut, we need to take care of our liver as well if we need to up our immunity. That's how we can save and protect ourselves. Next, we'll talk about 11 signs that you have an unhealthy gut. So, we don't see issues like constipation, bloating, acidity, or even acne, depression, anxiety, something to be related with gut. But actually, every problem, like I said, rises from your gut. So if I always say, if you worry cancer, it's better you start worrying constipation today. You start fretting about constipation today if you have constipation, because that is the start of bigger diseases ahead. So you need to make sure that your gut is doing well. So, there are signs like bloating, food sensitivities, allergies, thyroid conditions also happen because of the gut. Fatigue, tiredness, joint pains, a lot of inflammation in the body. So waking up with a lot of aches, pains, swelling in the morning. You have headaches, constant headaches, skin issues like acne, psoriasis, eczema. Everything is coming from the gut. Digestive problems like acidity, heartburn, ulcers in the stomach, or maybe H. pylori infection. Everything is gut again. Leaky gut. This is very important. So your leaky gut, basically your gut has a lining, and it's all the cells are tightly knit with each other. But when we eat wrong foods, which again I'll talk about, the lining starts breaking in between, creating holes. So what happens is the food that we eat or whatever we are putting into our gut starts getting into the blood, and then our immune system goes crazy to fight it out, to deal with it, thinking it's abnormal, because clearly the food that we eat does not get into your blood. What gets into your blood is the nutrients after digestion and absorption, but not the entire pieces of food. So we don't want that to happen. Weight changes, seeing a lot of weight gain, seeing a lot of weight around the abdomen, all of that happens because of gut issues. And food cravings, craving for the wrong kind of food, carbohydrates, high fat, craving for a lot of salt, a lot of sugar. Everything is coming from the gut. So I would like to know if you guys, any of you, have any of these issues. Put a yes in the comments right now, so later we can address it. Do you? Yes. So the next is, we go to how to keep our gut healthy. So yes, it's again, like I said, if a gut is happy, we are happy, immunity is happy, and all of it is interrelated. But thanks to the industrialization, the food industry literally, has become a food-less industry, because a lot of it that we are eating is food-less. It doesn't have anything to do with food in that, because everything is processed, high sugar, high fat, a lot of ingredients which we don't clearly understand. Maybe a lot of sugars, a lot of preservatives and chemicals, which are literally damaging our body. So this clearly then damages our gut, but it happens over a period of time. And then by then the reversal process takes time. So, it's important that you start today. So how do we take care of our gut? So this is very important. This is my mantra. It's not what you eat sometimes. It's what you eat all the time. So, some people come and say, what, Neha, I cheated today. I had a piece of cake. And I'm like, it's okay. You had it happily, right? It was someone's birthday or your birthday. And yeah, I enjoyed the piece of cake. So I said, don't worry, it's fine. But yeah, the problem will be if you eat a piece of cake for every meal every day. That would be the problem. So in our case, there are certain food ingredients which we sort of eat every day in every meal. And we think it's so normal, it's so innocent, because the world is doing doing it. So clearly, if the world is doing it, that's why we are living in an unhealthy world, because we are doing the same thing over and over again, which is affecting us. So what are these foods? Let's have a look. So ways to improve your gut. You have to start first eliminating certain gut irritants which you're eating in your day-to-day life. Wheat and gluten. This is a very big problem today in the entire globe, because wheat is a staple for everybody and we eat it like 4 times a day, from breakfast cereals to lunch to evening biscuits and breads, and dinner again as rotis or breads or whatever. And this wheat today is very hybrid, because clearly to feed that much wheat to the population, you have to grow it at that speed, and once the demand is high, the supply will get adulterated. So this we need to take care of. And the kind of wheat that we are eating today has protein in it which our body cannot digest, creating a lot of leaky gut and allergies. In fact, it takes about 6 months for you to understand that you have a wheat allergy. If you leave wheat today, it will take almost up to 6 months for you to reverse every damage that wheat has done in your body. Refined sugar. We have hidden sugar like everywhere, everywhere. So, all our processed food is filled with sugar and different sort of names. So we need to be very careful. Refined oils. We put oil into our food like it's water. So we need to take care of that, because clearly you cannot eat 1 cup of peanut at one time. You'll get a stomach ache. But we use 1 to 2 tablespoons of peanut oil like without even a thought. So that's the kind of concentrated stuff you're putting into your body. And refined oils have a lot of chemicals and processed stuff in it, which is damaging. Conventional meat and dairy, they're very high on hormones and antibiotics, again, thanks to the increase in the demand. Alcohol, we all know it's direct, toxic for the liver. It's a direct toxin for the liver. So we need to really, really take care of this. Tea and coffee. I literally believe in this. The entire world is an addict. Why do we only call, people who drink alcohol or smoke or, have sort of are on drugs as addicts? The world is an addict, because I think innocently people think, oh, tea and coffee is something that we can have in a normal life. But tea and coffee is the most addicting thing, and it's extremely inflammatory and damaging to our gut. So I think we need to work on this. Conventional eggs, again, we don't know where the eggs are coming from. A lot of hormones. Processed and packaged foods, which I already spoke about. And fried foods, because the more fried you eat, the more the liver has to work hard to sort of process it. The next is add gut loving foods. So fruits, veggies, roots and veggies. So all your banana, all your potatoes, sweet potatoes, all of that. Then your greens, your microgreens. Microgreens are great. You have your celery, you have your pudina, your coriander, all the greens that you can get your hand on, basil, everything, all are great. Nuts and seeds. So instead of having oils, you should have your fat from your nuts and seeds, which are more wholesome ways of eating your fat. And sprouts, which are live foods with a lot of enzymes. Hydration is the key, extremely important. We are 70% water, and if we don't hydrate ourselves well, our muscles, our gut, nothing can work well. So coconut water, lemon water, jaljeera, kokum, fresh vegetable juices, not fruit juices, they're high on sugar. Basil and mint drink, herbal and green teas. Another thing over here is very important is Congee. You can actually have carrot and beet Congee, and you can put in the comments if you want the recipe, and probably I could type it out later. So that is again a great way to hydrate yourself. Include gut healing herbs, plants, and spices. We all have them in our cupboard, and we all have them in our kitchen cabinet. So ginger, tulsi, mint, turmeric, fennel, ajwain, jeera. Mulethi is great for the throat and for the lungs. So especially at the time of this pandemic, mulethi should be a part of your diet. Aloe vera, celery. All of this, just make a concoction of these, whatever spices you have at home, and put them in hot water. Just brew them for a while, strain it, and drink it couple of times a day, and you're good to go. Then you can also have some right kind of supplements that your gut needs, which is probiotics, to get the right kind of bacteria back into your system. B12, extremely important. B12 is important for every nerve and every cell. So we need to get B12. Magnesium manages 300 odd functions in our body. So we need to get magnesium. Zinc, it's an immunity mineral. So zinc is extremely important to build your immune cells. Vitamin C, we all know how good it is for immunity. Omega-3. So a good quality omega-3, you get a lot of vegan omega-3s these days. You could actually include that, which is a good fat, and it helps your immune cells. Another very important thing is sunlight, which gives you vitamin D. I haven't written vitamin D supplement here because I first would want you to get it from sunlight at least 15 minutes every day in the morning. And if If you can't or you're not able to get it for some reason, maybe you stay in a cold place, or maybe you just don't have the balcony or the facility to get sunlight, then you could take a good quality vitamin D. But the dosage would depend upon your deficiencies, and you need to check with your physician or nutrition counselor for that. Lifestyle habits to improve your gut. Focus on your food while eating and not on your TV and not on talking or not on your phone. Calm yourself before you eat by conscious breathing. So, it's not what you eat, it's how you eat also which affects your gut. So just sit in front of your food, breathe, look at your food with good intentions, and let it just go into your body thinking that it's going to heal you, and it will heal you. Chew your food well, because we don't want big pieces of food to get into our gut and thereby, affect the digestive process and then cause leaky gut and all of that. Do not keep long gap between meals, because this causes a lot of stress, and stress can then increase your cravings and affect your immune system. Eat 6 smaller meals instead of 3 larger ones, because our stomach literally has a capacity, and if we over exceed that, then probably, it has to store everything as fat and it becomes sluggish. So we don't want to make it sluggish. Eat a light dinner, because that's not the time in the night the body really needs too much energy. So eat light dinner. Avoid drinking water between or immediately after meals, because that again affects your digestive process. Never opt for medications as a first choice of treatment. Here, really, I want to ask one question here. How many of you guys actually pop in pills like antacids or digestive pills and all of that, just, just as fun? Like, okay, I have this problem, I'll sort of just pop this pill and I'll be okay. If you do that, trust me, you're in for trouble, because these kind of pills and medications and, self-medicating yourself clearly causes you a lot more problem and affects your gut at a very different level. So you need to be really, really aware of that. Commit to daily movement. Now, when I'm talking about daily movement, we have a lot of time right now. Clearly, none of us can make an excuse that, oh my God, I'm short on time, because we have a lot of time. So investing at least 30 to 35 minutes um, every day for a workout which you love. It could be yoga, swimming. It could be, if you have a swimming pool around you. It could be jogging. It could be stair climbing. We all have stairs. It could just be stairs. It could be a quick HIIT workout. Whatever you enjoy. I have a few workout ideas here. Climb and get down 10 floors in a day. 20 squats, 3 sets. 20 lunges, 3 sets. Plank. Plank is great for your core. Spot jogging. Jumping jacks. You could do that as well. Push-ups. Maybe wall push-ups or floor push-up. Crunches. 20 sit-ups. Stretches is very important. Even if you can't get an exercise in your day, at least try to stretch your body to get the muscle and the blood circulation moving, because that's when you're going to actually allow your body to sort of let go of the toxins and, the stored energy inside it. You need to re-energize yourself with exercise. Very important topic right now, de-stress. I think this fear all around us about what's going to happen with our health, about our future, about finances, about work, all of it is sort of getting a little more grave right now. So I think it's important that we get aware of this and start realizing that this stress is going to do more harm to us than any good. Is there anyone over here who doesn't feel any sort of stress right now? I mean, then you're in a Zen state, and I would like to congratulate you for that. But clearly, I think all of us have some sort of stressors right now in our life. So we cannot run away from the stress, but we need to be aware that we are stressed and it's affecting us mentally and physically, and we need to start taking those measures. So, what are the things that we can do to actually de-stress? First of all, I want to tell you what are the symptoms of stress. So you feel apathetic, you feel, your teeth grinding, muscle tension, skin irritations. Then you have a lot of trouble concentrating, headaches, anxiety. You're constantly living in the future and you're like, I don't know what's going to happen. So you're very anxious, angry, stomach issues, you start getting constipation or maybe loose motions, some sort of stomach problem, fatigue. These are all the signs that you're extremely stressed out, because when you're stressed, your gut also gets stressed. So it's all interrelated. So stress management tips while in recovery. What can you do when you are actually feeling a lot of stress, or just through the day? Because, this is the time we need to be aware of it. So I already covered eat healthy and I've covered exercise. Now we need to talk about breathe deeply. This is extremely important because our breath is our best friend and it always stays with us. But we get really shallow in our breath and we don't pay attention to our breath because we don't realize that we're not breathing enough. So actually doing a lot of deep belly breathings and pranayams and, Kapal Bharti, Anulom Vilom, this all actually helps you to strengthen your lungs, which will then help you to also deal with viruses and all of that. You need to sleep well. We have a lot of time again. I think we should invest well, because whenever we are working, we're all complaining that, oh my God, I really don't get enough time to sleep. Now, clearly, we don't have those excuses to complain about. So I think it's time we start focusing on our sleep and take short naps in between and also sleep a good 7 to 8 hours every night and not just binge watch OTT platforms and then, wake up in the morning groggy. I think you should prioritize your sleep at this point. Meditation, extremely important. I can't stress enough about meditation because this is the only way you can calm yourself and you can be, more centered and start taking right decisions for yourself. So you could do yoga nidra, you could do guided meditations on YouTube, you could do body scanning, which helps you to relax your body. There are lots available which you could try. And socialize positively. But right now we are not talking about physical socialization, we're talking about virtual socialization. Just because we are not meeting our dear friends and family members and extended family members, it can get a little depressing at times because you really want to see your loved ones, but some people are really living far from their loved ones and just can't be there. So I think it's important that we need to socialize virtually positively and connect with the right kind of people who uplift us, who don't create more fear within us, and who sort of help us to channelize our energies more positively. So yeah, these were quick tips to sort of take care of your stress. So busy is a choice, stress is a choice, and joy is a choice. I think we need to choose what we want to actually see ourselves as. So that is there. So in a summary, your good health is dependent on proper nutrition, physical activity, stress management, energy management through meditation and breathing, and adequate rest. So this is in a nutshell of whatever we've spoken. And I really believe in this. If you listen when your body whispers, you won't have to hear it scream, because all these small signs and signals our body gives us as signals to tell us, listen, can you please give me more love and attention? I need it. And what we do is we give it a pill. And a poor body has to deal with that pill and then, the side effects of that and all of that. So it's a vicious cycle. So I think we can do better for our body. Eat when we are hungry, rest when we are tired, relax when we are stressed, and step back when you're overwhelmed. Listen to your body. I think if we start doing this, we live a super healthy and beautiful life. So everything is easy when you're crazy about it, and nothing is easy when you're lazy about it. So I think this is true in today's time. So I see a lot of people who are motivated, exercising, cooking, doing everything for self-care. And on the other hand, I have people who are like, listen, I just don't want to get out of the bed. I'm just sitting and, Netflixing the entire day. And I'm like, really? So there are all kinds of people, but you choose what your priority is. And I think that's how your life will move ahead. Trust me, I'm a dietitian. And you can ask me any question that you have. We are ready to take questions. That's my YouTube channel. I am on Instagram as the name of Neha Ranglani _ You can follow my page. And yeah.
Thank you very much, Neha, for that very informative presentation. There are lots of questions, so that's a good sign, because that means people have got enjoyed the presentation and they have questions they'd like answered as well. So I've made a note of these questions. And as Neha shared, do follow her on Instagram and YouTube. She constantly shares lots of short videos on specific topics, and they're very informative. And above all, they're things that you can take action on at home.
Yeah.
So we move to time for some Q&A. So the first question, Neha, is from Kinjal Seth. I crave for sugar. How do I lessen that? And any suggestions you have for those of us who crave for sugar?
So hi Kinjal, this is the most common problem. You're just not alone, let me tell you that. I think most people crave for sugar. And in today's time, we have a good news for you at the end. If you stay till the end of this webinar, we're going to give you like a sweet treat PDF, which you can make some healthy desserts at home. So Gautam and me just thought, because everyone's craving for sweets, I think that is important. Yes, but coming back to your question, when you crave for sugar, you're basically craving for basic ideas, sweetness in your life. Now you have to see, where is it not coming from? So as an integrative nutritionist, what I do is I don't just, see your life through your plate, but a lot beyond your plate. So what is it that's actually causing the craving? You could be eating all correct, but maybe you're stressing out too much. Maybe you just need a hug. Maybe you just need to talk to a loved one. Maybe you just need a little more rest. Figure out in your life, what is it that's not being fulfilled. And if you really take care of that, you'll overcome your sweet cravings. But if in diet, if I have to tell you, make sure you eliminate all the foods that I spoke about, because if your body is really working hard to digest what you're eating and cannot get the energy out of it, then it will crave for sugar. It will try to tell you, give me more usable form of energy. And if you eat like sugar, refined sugar, any other wrong form of energy, you'll put yourself into that vicious cycle. and it will be very difficult for you to get out of it. So have a lot of dates, include jaggery, include fruits, dry fruits. These are all natural sources of sugar, which will make you feel good. Have a banana when you feel low on energy. Just have a banana. It's a great fruit to up your energy instantly and crave your and just satisfy your sweet craving. So I hope I've answered your question. Gautam, I can't hear you.
Thanks, Kinjal. Thanks, Neha. The next question is from Divya Ahuja. Some tips for aspiring vegans. Any tips
Oh,
you can
I
share
can
on
go
that? Yeah.
on on this. I've turned vegan like 4 years back from being a hardcore non-vegetarian and a dairy lover. I've turned vegan. I've become a plant-based food coach. Today I've just launched my vegan cheese e-class. So in case you guys want a link, I can share that here, and it's at a real discounted price, and you can go try making some healthy, amazing cheese at home. Yeah, but inspiring, words for new vegans is, don't think you're missing out on anything. In fact, just see from a perspective that you're doing so much more good to the earth, to the animals. In fact, after this pandemic, you see a lot of people turning vegetarian, realizing that eating animals is not the best thing. Maybe they've not given it up completely. At least they're getting there and they're realizing that we have other food options than just eating animals. And veganism is a blissful place to be in, because you're really nurturing your body with a lot of live foods, with a lot of plants, a lot of seeds, everything that has prana, that has life, and that's what helps to give you life, and eventually you'll feel your best. And if you need any more help in terms of veganism, I'm always there.
Thanks, Neha, and thanks, Divya. This question's come up by a lot of people, Sanjay Gupta, Dilrip, and Shaker, about green tea and hot water in terms of how good is it and how often can we drink green tea and hot water in a day.
Yeah. So see, this whole idea of drinking hot water to not to stay away from the whole issue right now, I think it's a little overrated. It's just not the hot water which is going to help you, because, like I said, if you're drinking the hot water and you're having all the wrong foods and your gut is affected, your immune cells won't be able to work. So you can sip hot water, but another suggestion to up your immunity, that is brew. So put some of the spices that I mentioned, like your sauf, jeera, ajwain, cloves, cinnamon, in the water, elaichi. Put all of that in the hot water in a flask and keep sipping that. So probably that will sort of help you to up your immunity along with the hot water. Green teas are great. Just make sure you pick up organic green teas with leaves and not the random tea bags, because we really don't know where that's coming from, and we also don't. The material is plastic, so we don't want you to ingest that. So you could actually pick up some herbal nice leaves, or you could also use lemongrass to make herbal tea with ginger, cinnamon, methi, pudina, tulsi. Tulsi is great. It's like we all Indians, we know how tulsi is. How much importance it holds in our lives. So we could do that. So yeah, you could have chamomile, jasmine, green tea, buy organic and good quality ones.
Thanks, Neha. Another question that's come up by Chakna, Deepa, and a couple of others around eggs. What are your suggestions? What eggs are safe? Can we eat eggs? How regularly? So everything around the space of
Eggs.
eggs.
Again, if you have a weak and a sluggish liver and you have a sluggish gut, which you may feel in yourself, that I'm not very, very heavy on digestion, and in terms of my digestive fire is not very great, then, I'd suggest stay away from eggs for a while. Even if you're doing it, do it in lesser portions, or you could just buy the hormone free eggs or the free range eggs. I really don't know how genuine they are, because we don't know where they're coming from. But if you have a good organic source of buying eggs, I would suggest you to do that, because clearly the eggs, the normal conventional eggs that you get, are all injected, and they are all produced with injections and not really with with the proper mating process and stuff. So we are actually ingesting a lot of hormones and a lot of crap in our bodies. So I just suggest choose the right kind of egg for yourself, and you can have it if you think you're somebody who digests eggs well, then you could have one or two depending on how much you can eat. But again, I suggest have the entire egg. Don't just have the white, because you're clearly not helping your body in any way. All the nutrients are in the yellow. So if you're eating, eat one whole egg rather than two whites. This is what I would suggest.
Thanks, Neha. There are quite a few people wondering what's the best way to connect with you. I know obviously Instagram and thing, but in terms of messaging, are you okay with email or
Yeah, I'll just type my email ID here, and they can connect with me with their, and you can write down your concerns on the email, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. So yeah, I'm just sharing that right now.
Great.
If you got
So
it.
anyone has any personal questions they'd like to ask Neha, then you could send her an email. She'd be happy to respond. Thank you.
Yeah.
So next question is from Shobha. This is a recipe for kanji.
For
Any
kanji, yes, yes, yes. I mentioned that. So basically, what you need to, it's also there on my Instagram. If you go on my highlights, there's a home recipe section where you could actually check. But I'll still tell you here. What you could do is you could take carrots and beetroot and a little ginger, and you can take a little avla and fill it with a lot of water. So three times the water of the amount that you're taking the carrot and the beet. That's so much. The water is three times the amount, and in the water you need to put pink salt, so like a good heap of pink salt, mustard powder, and you could also put, what you could do is while blending the water, before you're putting the water, you could blend it with any herb, so like a pudina, like maybe coriander, or maybe basil, whichever herb you like. Blend the water with that, and then sort of let it ferment. And you have to keep it for 2 to 3 days. No, actually now it's so sunny because I'm talking out of Bombay. If you keep it for 1.5 day also, I think it should be ready, but just see how much sunlight your house gets. But I think 2 to 3 days typically is the right time. It will be super fermented. When you open, you'll see this little gassy little fizz coming out of it, and yeah, it's ready. Then just store it in the fridge. So you could eat the pickled vegetables, but clearly you will not find any taste. They're just like fiber because all of it is sort of gone. So what you could do is you could blend it, and the fiber you could actually mix it in your juices and later have it if you want to, or you could just probably put it in a compost or whatever, and then use that to grow your manure. Yeah.
great. Thank you, Neha. This one, do you have any e-classes planned beyond this webinar? Anything else that you have planned?
Yeah, I just today I have launched my vegan cheese e-class, which are these 5 really delectable cheeses which we are making on a video format, and there's a PDF. So you just have to see the video. They're very easy ingredients, and if you get stuck up somewhere, I'm always there to help you out where you can get these ingredients from. You just have to make them at home, and they are like a no-brainer process, but they are yum. So your family will love it. You can have it with toast, you can have it with crackers, you can have it with a kakra, things like that. And I know at this time we all are craving for the right kind of food, so I thought it was the best time to launch that class. So if you want, I'm gonna just copy the link here, and you can sort of go check it out, purchase it however you like it. Just give me a moment. I'll just do that in a second. Yeah, here you go.
Great. The next question is from Joydeep Basu. Can chill water damage our liver and increase sugar level?
So what happens with chilled water? It directly wouldn't damage your liver because it has to get into the gut, but it damages your gut in terms of it freezes your digestion. So anything that's extremely cold or hot, the body has to readapt to the temperature. The idea is you give your body what it can do the best in the least effort that it can put. The more effort you allow your body to put, the longer it takes to process stuff, and the bigger the load it has. So uh, it won't directly affect your liver. You can have it sometimes, but I'd suggest room temperature water is the best in that sense.
Thanks, Neha. Thanks, Joydeep. The next one is from Zubin. Fruits. Fruits should be eaten on an empty stomach, after meals, morning, night. What's the best time and healthiest fruit to eat?
All fruits are healthy. They are like, it's like a mother can't distinguish between her babies and will not be biased. I will not be biased with any fruit because I love all fruits, and all fruits are great in their own way for your body. So I just feel the fruits affect you when you eat at the wrong time. So you asked a very good question. What time to eat the fruits? I think the best time to eat fruits is empty stomach, mid meals, and as snacks, but not as desserts. Like now it's mango season, and people, what we do is we generally eat mango with our meals, with our lunch and dinner. And that is what affects us most. So you need to eat your fruits empty stomach or as snacks, as I said, not as desserts, and not as, like a milkshake, not as combinations. Basically, don't combine your fruit with anything because they get fermented and that causes bloating and, all the gut issues again. So just keep fruit as fruit. Don't make it into a milkshake or blah blah blah. The simpler you eat it, the faster you process it. Yeah.
Thanks, Neha. Thanks, Zubin. Next one is from Kritika. About super grains like amarnath and buckwheat, what are your thoughts on those?
Best. Take the wheat off, get them into your life. You will be sorted. All millets are great, high on nutrients. In fact, your wheat has nothing. It's actually nothing. Your millets have a lot more calcium, a lot more iron, a lot more zinc and magnesium and all of that. So best choice.
Great. Thanks, Neha. Thanks, Kritika. The next one is from Sanjana. How do you treat anemia?
How to treat anemia? So it's more about your iron, it's your hemoglobin. Again, a lot of it comes from your absorption. So there are a lot of things you can do in your diet. The first thing is eliminate things which are affecting you, because that clearly is not letting your iron get absorbed. So once you remove the foods which are causing you the problem, you'll let more space in your gut to absorb the right kind of things. And what you could do is you could include a lot of greens. Make sure you have greens with vitamin C during the day, which is your green smoothie. So again, I have a green smoothie recipe. What I'll do is quickly, I'll put the video link here. It's on my YouTube. So I'll put it here so you guys can actually go and follow that green smoothie recipe. It's really good. It has pineapple. So that's vitamin C and greens. In case you don't have pineapple at home, you could put cucumber and lemon along with the greens. So, you could play around with what you have at that time. But greens, dates, beetroot. Beetroot juice is amazing. So a mono juice, that is like a beetroot juice, just plain beetroot without water, juice it in a good cold press juicer and have like about 200 ml of that. That's very good for opening up your blood vessels as well. Also gives you a lot of arginine. It gives you a lot of, it basically just goes and improves your blood circulation inside. So I think that's a great thing that you can do. So, and a lot of seeds. Your seeds have iron. Your ragi has iron. So if you eliminate foods which are sort of affecting your absorption and adding foods which have good amount of iron, you'll be doing really well. So, but apart from that, if you have any other underlying issue, I'll have to understand your case better. But these are just general tips.
Great. Thanks, Neha. What yoga do you suggest if I've not done it before?
I think you should don't do it on your own, or just pick up very basic yoga then, because I see I do hatha flow and it's a flow and it's like, I think you can start with Surya Namaskars. They're really basic. If you see a good portal or you follow a good person on YouTube or Instagram, there are a lot of live classes going around right now. So if you follow a good person who has this, sound knowledge of form and technique, if you do slow Surya Namaskar, that's the best way to start, because that's like just getting into the flow. And do some asanas which you can hold. But if you can take help of a professional virtually right now, please do that.
Great. Thanks, Neha. We're going to take a short break for two polls now. So those of you online, we're just going to ask you a couple of questions. So I'll start with the first one. Are you aware of an integrative approach of nutrition and health coaching? So just click yes or no. That'll be great. Thank you. Are you aware of an integrative approach of nutrition and health coaching?
Gautam, I think you have to start the poll. I can't hear you, Gautam.
Yeah, they're there. I'm going to end the poll. Actually, we've had the majority of results have come in now.
Oh, okay, I can't see them now.
So about 55% have said no and 44 have said yes.
That's good. That's great.
Okay, and just one more question, if we may, which is a good one because it's something we all have to set, is what is your health goal? To get in shape and have a desired body image, to be more productive and energetic, mentally healthy, or reverse my current health issues? Which one of these is your primary health goal? Great. I think we've again had majority of answers. The number one area is be more productive and energetic and mentally healthy. And the results will now come up on the screen. Great. Thanks for participating in polls. We'll continue now with the Q&A.
Gautam, just one second. I've just put the YouTube video link for the green smoothie just in case they want to get that. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that there, and obviously this chat will also. We'll share this in the email, which goes out to everyone tomorrow at 10 o'clock. You'll all receive an email with the link of the session today, and even the links will that have been recommended by Neha will include that as well. Great. Question from Mithilia: can you recommend any green tea brand for weight loss?
I don't recommend any green tea for weight loss because if I tell you have this and you don't lose weight, you'll come back telling me, my God, what Neha told me just didn't work. Because it won't work because you have to change what is the underlying cause of your weight gain. So, like I said, choose an organic brand, choose something that you like, your taste buds enjoy. It's all about what you enjoy. Just don't do it because someone else is doing it and she's having and she's losing weight. No, it doesn't work. You have to see what your taste buds enjoy, what your body feels comfortable with, what you feel good with. And yeah, if you do that, then I think you'll find a good one for yourself. But you have to do everything else that it takes to lose weight. Just a green tea won't help. But there are a lot of organic brands. There's Organic India, Tulsi Tea. There's Vadham, which is a new brand. And you have a lot of organic, genuine organic, good brands available. If you buy tea bags, make sure you buy the cloth bags and not the non-woven plastic bags. So you get these, these nice muslin, flimsy cloth. If the Chinese tea, if you see, don't buy Chinese tea right now. It's not about Chinese, but the point is, that what do you get? Those muslin cloth. Yeah, that one. That is a better tea to have.
Great. Next question is from Akshay. What is the best source of B12 for vegetarians?
So see, for vegetarians, it's actually not just vegetarians or non-vegetarians. It depends on your gut again, because the intrinsic factor which is there to help you absorb B12 is in your intestine. So if it's in your stomach, so if you don't really take care of your gut, you are not going to absorb it. So we see a lot of non-vegetarians also in my day-to-day life. I see a lot of non-vegetarian clients also having B12 deficiency. So what I suggest is right now getting onto a healthy B12, a good B12 supplement, which is a methylcobalamin, will do good for you. Other than that, you have your greens, you have a normal balanced diet, remove the irritants from your gut, and you'll start absorbing B12 really well.
Great. What do you what do you think about the keto diet? Is it good
I
for us? Any side effects?
A lot. I don't support keto too much because I feel it's not sustainable. One, two, it's very drastic and very harsh on our body because our liver again it involves your liver like every second because all you're eating is fat, 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 and the idea to digest the only organ which helps you digest fat is the liver. So if you're flooding your liver with only one what do you say function of digesting the fat, then it can't do the other functions of detoxifying and all of that. So it's a very short term diet and I don't really believe too much in it. I feel you can be balanced and gain great health and you don't need to put your beautiful precious body through that.
Thanks, Neha. Yeah, a lot of people asking for the dessert recipes. Yeah, we'll be sharing the dessert recipe link at the end of this presentation.
Yes.
Next question is from Sonali. Well, do you think hair fall is a part of nutrition? Any exactly what is how does hair fall connect to the food we eat?
Your hair fall is all about your diet. Your hair fall is everything is about nutrition because what you eat goes and nourishes your hair follicles. So I mean, what you're putting in is the raw material for your hair to grow. So if you're not really eating well or you're taking a lot of stress and you're flooding your body with a lot of acidic foods, your hair follicles will not do well. Also depends on your iron, on your magnesium, on other things which are sort of affecting your hair. So we really need to figure out what it is that's affecting you. But yes, hair and nutrition, the only way you can improve your hair is by good nutrition. Topically, you can apply stuff as well, but internally, you need to nourish yourself.
Great.
Sorry, Gautam, can you see me?
No, it shows maybe it's the sometimes it moves to audio only if there's a
Okay,
Wi-Fi.
okay.
Anything you can recommend apart from gymming and diet? Uh,
For
in terms of getting healthy, is it only all about gymming and dieting?
It's not about dieting. It's never about dieting. I don't like the word diet. It's too cliched and restrictive. It's about healthy eating. It's about taking care of yourself. It's about loving yourself enough and doing the right thing for your body. If you look at it that way, you're not going to see it as a diet. You're not going to see it as a very torturous way of getting onto your goal. It's the most beautiful way. It's actually a journey. It's enjoying the journey. It's not a destination. It's not about being a particular weight or a particular shape. It's enjoying the whole process of feeling empowered and energetic within your own self. So clearly there is no other way than eating healthy and exercising and taking care of yourself. There's no pill for every ill. I don't believe in that.
The next question is from Alok Verma. This is, what is your suggestion for intermittent fasting? Does that help in some way?
Again, to each his own. Some people say they do very well. I believe in a 12-hour gap, which I don't call as an intermittent fasting. It's the normal way of eating like our ancestors ate. They ate at 7 in the evening and again 7 in the morning, or 8 in the evening and 8 in the morning. And what I have seen with my clients, this has worked the best. So I've never felt the need to do anything drastic, random, anything like that to sort of, if I ask somebody to eat at 7 and they sleep at 1 o'clock, and next morning suppose they have to eat at 12, I think that's a very long gap I'm asking someone to keep if they are awake and utilizing their body and energy. So I think to each his own. You need to really have a very disciplined life if you want to follow that many hours of fasting then, because yeah, that's something. I mean, 12 to 12 hours fasting is something that's very doable, I feel.
Thanks, Neha.
Yeah.
What do you suggest to detoxify our body?
Our body is constantly always detoxifying. We have a lot of detoxifying organs, which is our, we detoxify through our large intestine, we detoxify through our kidneys, through our skin, through our breath. Our liver helps to detoxify. But constantly, our cells produce toxins every second, and our body is cleaning that up. But the process gets slowed when we load our body with a lot of toxins from outside as well. So if you want to detoxify, I'm coming up with my cleanse course very soon, probably in few days. So I will announce Gautam and we'll announce it. However, but the idea is you need to, like I said, remove irritants if you want you have to first stop adding toxins to your body, and then you have to improve the circulation, the lymph, the oxygenation in your body, so that the body can throw the toxins which are there inside, and it's able to do the cleansing job. So clearly, if you have a mop and you don't have a water, what will you sweep with? I mean, you need to have all the ingredients to do a certain process, and that's what your body needs. It needs lesser irritants, it needs more cleansing, more hydration, all that I spoke about, and your body will be in a great detox mode constantly.
Great, thank you, Neha. I like this question. Shrujana has shared this. How do you identify whether our immune system is strong or weak?
See, you'll have signs, whatever signs I said when your gut is healthy are also the signs that you have a weak immune system. So when you're getting a lot of skin issues, acne is a lot to do with your immune system, because it's the bacteria which is getting into your skin and causing that pimple. Then you have psoriasis, then you have cold, cough, constant fever, constant tiredness. You have, these are the signs of hair fall. All this is immunity. All this is to do with how your immune system is working with the toxins within. So all the signs that your gut issues, like what I've spoken about, if you have those issues, then you are going to have a compromised immune system at some degree or the other in your body.
Great. Question about, is any food that lessen the condition of arthritis?
Yeah, all the inflammatory foods. So arthritis is all about inflammation. It's about low grade inflammation, which is the cause of most problems today. So from your PCOS to unknown weight gain to bone issues to skin issues, everything is coming from inflammation. That's when your immune system is fighting all the toxins inside, whether your body is not detoxifying, or whether you're putting in a lot of toxins in your body, or you're taking a lot of stress. All this it's not conducive for the body. So the immune system is always on a patrol, and they're sort of trying to find what is it. So during that process, they release certain chemicals which cause inflammation in our body. So this low grade inflammation is what causes arthritis. And the minute you get onto an anti-inflammatory plan is when your body will start recovering, the swelling will reduce, the pain. So I had a client, I'll just share this, it might just help you. I had a client who had a very massive frozen shoulder and arthritic shoulder. This was about 2 years back, and she had been to the best of the best orthopedic doctors and surgeons and stuff to figure out what to do. And she was on medications, painkillers, like 3 painkillers a day. And it was really heartbreaking to see her because she used to come in with a lot of pain. I just put her on an anti-inflammatory plan, and within 3 weeks, I'm not exaggerating, within 3 weeks, her painkillers were bent down to zero. And she said, Neha, I could sleep. She's saying, Neha, I haven't slept in days. Now I don't know when I sleep and when I wake up. She's like, I can sleep. And that was so heartwarming for me because I'm like, oh my God. These are the miracles the body shows when you do the right thing. So yeah, that's about arthritis.
Great. Any home remedies you can suggest to treat acne?
See, externally, if you talk, then there's so much you can do. I mean, I'm sure you'll be applying your creams. You could do haldi ka paste on your acne. You could do tea tree oil. Check with your doctor what suits your skin. Check with your skin doctor. But again, it's all internal. If you go on Pink Villa and type Neha Ranglani acne, Pink Villa is a portal. I've spoken about acne over there. Maybe I can share the link over here. You can see that video and understand what is acne and where is it coming from. Let me just share. In the meanwhile, I'll take the next question, but I'll share the video.
Sure. Your thoughts on processed fruit juices, good, bad for our health, or
Anything processed is bad. There is no
yeah.
second answer to that. There's no second doubt about that.
What is a good anti-inflammation plan? Any example of foods?
So everything, one second, everything that I spoke about when you have to remove irritants, those are inflammatory foods. And all that I spoke about to put into your diet, if you've seen the presentation, is about the anti-inflammatory foods. So there's no special food as such, but like your turmeric is very anti-inflammatory, your ginger is very anti-inflammatory. Then you have a lot of herbs and spices, like the green smoothie that I've shared is very anti-inflammatory. So it's just about figuring out what is causing inflammation to you, what you're not doing well with, trying eliminating your certain foods and seeing how you do. You'll understand what is causing inflammation for you.
Great. We'll just wrap up with the last
I've
probably
shared the link for the acne video, Gagan.
great.
Yeah.
So that if anyone wanted that, you could go into the chat. It will be there. Can you share some light on fruitarian diets? I only eat fruits. Anything wrong in that? Or
I'd suggest, I mean, I understand if you're eating a raw diet, still you're getting a lot of nutrients, you're getting your fats from your nuts, you're getting your, minerals from your greens, and you're getting your starch from your, your roots and tubers. But if you're eating only and only a fruitarian diet, you might be somewhere. I mean, if it's doing good for you, I really will have to understand your system better. I'm not making a generalized comment here because everybody is different. But if you're feeling good with it, great. But you need the proteins and you also need the good fats and you need the minerals which are there in other foods. So, just figure out how it does for you. But it's a little extreme thing to do only fruitarian through the day. Also, you crave for salt and you crave for, your sodium and your minerals. Uh, but yeah, you have to figure out if it does well for you. So I think it's too extreme. I would prefer you going onto a raw diet and doing other foods as well, and figure that out how that works for you if that does well.
great. Question for children. I mean, how do we eat? What kind of food you recommend for children to help them with calcium?
The same that you're eating. I don't know why we've really become really anal about protein and calcium in our diets. It's about protein is god of macronutrients and calcium is god of micronutrients, which is really not the case because when you eat a balanced diet, the body does not pick out apart from the food and say, okay, I got my calcium. The body processes everything together, assimilates it and sees where it has to take what. What does the body need for repair, recovery at, in the entire body as a whole. It's not about just what, okay, calcium kha liya, protein kha liya. So I think if you give your child a balanced diet of what we spoke, a lot of fruits, nuts, seeds, calcium is very rich in, you have very good quantity of calcium in sesame seeds. So try including till in your child's diet. You could include ragi, like a ragi porridge or a ragi drink in your child's diet. Then you have your greens, which are great in calcium for the child. So I think you just need to give your child a balanced diet, and I think your child will get everything that he needs. And whatever you eat, the child will imitate. So if you start changing your habits and start eating correct, I think your child will absorb that, and sort of make it a part of his lifestyle.
A closing question, actually two questions, and we'll then wrap up the Q&A. One is about milk and the myth around the importance of drinking milk. Any thoughts on milk as an important part of our diet?
I don't think, I mean, me turning a vegan, I can only say milk is not important for survival. 4 years from becoming a vegan now, and I haven't been better in my health and in my state of mind after turning vegan. So it's only that we, again, the myth that we need milk to survive, but we are the only animals who have another animal's milk, and so only mammals who have other animals' milk. So I think it's important that we also try not doing milk and seeing how that does for us, because I don't know, there's a lot of fear around milk, and people say, oh my god, दूध छोड़ देंगे तो protein calcium कहाँ से मिलेगा, again the same thing. So uh, like, we vegans are living examples for you all that we don't need milk for survival, for sure, for sure. Yeah.
Great. The let's say final question that we would have is: is there a sort of recommended balance in terms of a diet that we could have between in every day there's sort of do's and don'ts, or any guidelines you have of what we should eat and not eat in general as a daily pattern in keeping sort of a balance of our food?
Yeah, so what I'd suggest is start your day with a lot of, healing liquids, hydrating liquids. Start your day with fruits, then get on to eating a normal breakfast, which is not really very heavy on oil or very heavy on processed foods. Do simpler breakfast, and you could also do like, for cereals, you could, I mean, for breakfast, you could do amaranth, which is rajgira, you could do ragi, you could do brown rice poha and all of that. Then getting on to lunch, make sure your lunch has salad, a big portion of salad, some dal, some sabzi, and whichever grain you want to have. Evening, keep it to your nuts, seeds, a lot of light snacks, and then dinner, keep it really light. So go light on dinner, eat more vegetables at night, avoid fried, avoid processed, avoid a lot of carbs in the night, and I think your body will do well. But again, to each his own. We have to see what works for one. Uh, if you're an active person, you might need the carbs in the night. So we just need to figure that out. But yeah, this is generalized.
Great. Thank you very much, Neha. It's been a fantastic Q&A session. I think we answered over 25 questions.
Thank
We'll
you.
review these later, and if there's any others that we'd like to answer, we could sort of share that by
Sure.
email with them.
Sure.
I'm just going to wrap up with a couple of polls now.
Hmm.
So one is the first one is: food is a secondary nourishment, or is it a primary nourishment? Comes from other aspects of life. Is this true or false? Food is a secondary nourishment, primary nourishment that comes from other aspects of life. Is this true or false in your opinion? You could just click on your thoughts. Thank you. Looks like a 50-50 split kind of, Neha. So we may need to lead on you for the answer to that.
Yeah, I think it's no. I think it's false. It's people are
60%.
more towards the false.
Yeah. We'll wrap up on that. Okay, yeah.
Almost 60-40.
60-40.
Yeah. So the thing is that food is secondary nourishment. I mean, it's clear. You eat a bowl of salad under stress, you'll gain weight. You eat a piece of cake with all the happiness and relaxed state of mind, you'll still not put on weight. So the idea is that food, gets the effect of food in our body is a byproduct of a lot of things going on around us in our life. So if you're very stressed, you've had a bad day, you clearly, I mean, you'll either crave for the wrong food, or the food is not going to be well digested and absorbed in your system. So food is secondary nourishment. Your primary nourishment is every other aspect of your life.
Great. And one final poll. This is according according to you, is being accountable to a health coach the best way to achieve your health goals? Yes, no, or maybe. For me personally, I like having a coach in every area of one's life because then you feel accountable on the same. But let's see how the poll responds. right. I, so about 80% is yes,
Yes, or maybe.
yes, maybe. All right, great. Thank you for participating in our poll. Thank you, Neha, for your wonderful presentation and Q&A session. Just as I wrap up today, I'd like to. This is the book I've authored, which is called Breaking Bread: Building Meaningful Relationships for Long-Lasting Success. I invite each of you to connect with me on LinkedIn. Feel free to take a picture of the slide, or I will share that by email tomorrow as well. It'll be a pleasure to stay in touch with each of you who appreciate learning experiences. Last but not least, whilst we do facilitate these webinars and will continue doing so, we've scheduled webinars, 2 webinars a week, April, May, and June. We'll be sharing those with you. Whilst they're complimentary free, this is a golden chance for us to be grateful and also a chance to give back to those in need. So we're sponsoring, supporting rather, Building Blocks, which is a school that provides lots of schools for children in the slums. Currently, they're not able to go to school and there's no virtual schooling. So they're providing meals to their doorsteps in terms of providing them meals on a monthly basis for the quota. So there is a link being shared. If you found value in today's presentation and you'd like to support our goal in reaching these children, then feel free to totally voluntary contribute to that. On behalf of Right Selection and myself and Neha, it's been an absolute pleasure being with you today. Thank you for your participation, and we look forward to staying closely connected. Neha has shared all her email address, and obviously you can follow her on Instagram and YouTube to stay connected, and feel free to email her directly. Thank you, and have a good evening. God
Thank
bless.
you so much. Thanks, Gautam. Bye.